But I think those people are looking at this from the wrong angle, because not only do we have all of these subscribers every single month, there's always some sort of additional purchase to go along with these games. For all of you guys that have watched my channel for at least a little while, I'm sure you've heard me talk about the amazing value that is Game Pass. However, in my research of new Xbox videos, I came across a very interesting article on Push Square that was making claims that publishers don't like things like Game Pass or PlayStation Plus because supposedly it devalues games overall. Of course, this is a PlayStation-focused website, and they have gone on to quote Jim Ryan, saying, "I talked to all publishers and they unanimously do not like Game Pass because it's value destructive." Of course, this speaks of nothing to the PlayStation Plus, which is also a subscription model, but part of the issue I have with this statement is that Jim says he talked to all publishers and they unanimously do not like Game Pass, which I feel is a very bold statement to say that every single publisher that he has ever spoken to does unanimously not like Game Pass, which I honestly just find hard to believe because we have so many good games on Game Pass from Sega and Capcom and other big name studios. And I'm definitely not saying that Push Square or Jim Ryan is lying about this, but it just kind of got my wheels turning of, you know, I always thought Game Pass was an amazing value, but maybe it's not so good after all from the publisher side. And ultimately what they're talking about is that when you have day one AAA title releases, it impacts whether people are going to buy that game at the full $60, $70 price tag on release. Hey, if you guys didn't know, you can actually become a member of the channel now. And there's all sorts of cool perks and benefits. Because Microsoft now has become notorious for this. Starfield and Redfall, anything from Bethesda, anything in the future like Elder Scrolls 6 that's going to be coming out, games from Capcom like Exoprimal that were all day one releases that if you had Game Pass, you didn't have anything to additionally purchase to play these games. Because Sony absolutely doesn't do this, so with games like Last of Us or Horizon Forbidden West, they're putting literally hundreds of millions of dollars into developing these games and getting them out, only to have people not buy them because they can get them on a subscription service. I didn't buy Starfield, so how is Microsoft actually making this sustainable? And what are the benefits of actually having these big name titles for day one releases on a service that you're already paying for? And I think it's just going to come down to a numbers game. And our good friends over at Statista keep track of the number of Xbox gaming subs on console worldwide. Now this is from April 2022, but as of right now at the time of this video, this is the most recent official statistic that we have. And they've got Xbox Game Pass excluding PC, your Xbox Live Gold, which doesn't exist anymore, and a total number of 33 million people. So let's just assume for a second that everybody's only paying the minimum, which is $10 a month. We'll go ahead and multiply this by a round number of 33 million. So rough number, every single month, Xbox is getting $330 million every single month. And it's not just a dollars number game either. So when we saw the release of Exoprimal from Capcom day one on Game Pass, which is a what type of game? It is a multiplayer online team game. So what did that tell everybody that already had a Game Pass sub? Hey, check out this brand new game from Capcom. It's not going to cost you anything additional to play. It is by a major well-known publisher, and that is going to give a healthy pool of players for this brand new game. And publishers are making money on Game Pass and PlayStation Plus. And I think the only real weight of this argument is when we're talking about big name AAA titles that cost a ton of money to produce. Hey, thanks for watching the video today. If you made it this far, consider subscribing to the channel. Does every publisher want their game to sell for the maximum amount of money so that they can get their return on investment? Of course they do. But on the other side, when you're a small publisher and you really want to get your game out there, things like Game Pass and PlayStation Plus and Steam, these are all great things for you to use to get your games out there. And I've heard the argument that this is just not sustainable long term, but I think those people are looking at this from the wrong angle, because not only do we have all of these subscribers every single month, but all of these games, whether they're a small indie title or they're a giant AAA title, there's always some sort of additional purchase to go along with these games. Most games will have some sort of DLC after a certain amount of time if the game is popular. AAA titles usually have things like premium editions that include more content. And then it seems like games of all sizes have some things like reskins or other aesthetic options for an additional purchase. I personally will buy an add-on if it's a game that I really enjoy playing. And further proof of this is that these game publishers keep putting their games out on Game Pass. Just one single example is Sega Atlas. All the Yakuza games are on there and they keep getting put on Game Pass. Not to mention a big chunk of their Persona series. So publishers clearly see it as a valuable way to get their content into players' hands. And I think as long as Microsoft keeps putting out these day one available on Game Pass releases, we are going to see the continued growth of Game Pass. Let me know your guys' thoughts on this. Do you think that putting out these games day one on Game Pass is somehow devaluing them? Or are you like me and you just think, wow, this is such an amazing value day one for this thing I'm already paying for? I've been John, by the way. Thanks for taking the time to check out this video, and we will see you in the next one.